Now it is my honor and privilege to introduce the leader who guided our movement through this Great Futures Impact Plan and who will lead us into the next and exciting phase of the movement. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the President and CEO of the Boys and Girls Clubs of America, Jim Clark. Thank you.
Well, howdy, and welcome to Dallas. What was that? We got it. Great. Well, welcome. It is so exciting to be with all of you for our 111th annual conference, obviously focused on one mission, one vision, and one movement. I'd like to thank Myron Gray, our Board of Governors National Chairperson, and Bill Blaze, a member of our Board of Governors, and as you heard, the chair of this year's conference, for the continued support and work that they do to make our movement so great. Let's give them one more round of applause. Quick question. How many of you here in the audience are here for the first time? This is your first national conference. Let's stand up, bring the house lights up, and recognize those folks as well. So whether you're new to the movement or that you've been serving youth for years, but you're attending the conference for the first time, welcome. This will be an exciting week, and you'll be spending the next few days with some very extraordinary people. This is the time that our Boys and Girls Club family comes together. Most of us call it the family reunion. It's our annual opportunity to catch up, celebrate successes, share challenges, find solutions, and also rededicate ourselves to the mission and the core beliefs that bind us together as one movement. We have a full week of opportunities to have a lot of us have some fun, learn, network with colleagues new and old, but leave here inspired and ready to make great futures a reality. In preparing for our time together today, I thought about one of my favorite videos that we've produced in this movement. Many of you will recognize it, and it's special to me for a lot of reasons, but most importantly, because of the focus on staff, all of you, the professionals in this room, that create these minor and major miracles for the kids and teens that we serve. Let's take a look.
He stood about 5'9" tall, but he was a giant. Billy Thomas. He ran the Boys and Girls Club where I grew up. Now I know today is different. Young people face problems I never even had to think about. But that's why now, more than ever, we need the Boys and Girls Club. It's a positive place where thousands of people like Billy Thomas help young people succeed. Does it work? It did for me. Support the Boys and Girls Clubs.
I know you agree, this video tells the powerful story that we all know and live every day. It truly showcases the journey of thousands of staff and volunteers who make miracles happen for club members. It's also the journey of awakening to the possibilities that life holds for children when they realize their dreams because of clubs. And it's the journey of people and communities, big and small, across this great nation, who tirelessly give of themselves for the benefit of our children and our country. As you well know, our alumni tell the stories of their journey, describing how the club literally saved their life. And when our Youth of the Year, like you heard earlier, describe their club experience, they talk about the opportunities that they were given, but inevitably, as you well know, they always describe a staff member who guided, mentored, prodded, believed in them, inspired them, and of course, loved them. And when some kids in clubs today well, they may not always know or remember the building blocks that enabled them to create their great future. But I know, and I remember who it is, because it's you. So thank you again for what you do, because truly, we'd not be where we are or who we are today without all of you. Thank you. Today, Boys and Girls Clubs reach 4 million youth every year in every state, on military bases around the world, because of the dedicated people who live our mission. We all stand on the shoulders of greats who built this movement. And we have a moral imperative to carry this forward as we bring the next generations of leaders to the forefront of what we do, galvanizing our historic past with the potential of what's to come. We're entrusted with the responsibility to nurture, expand, and increase our impact through the guidance and wisdom of those that came before us. So today, we'll talk about the journey that we're on, as I cover 3 main topics with all of you. First, we'll reflect on the challenges facing young people in our country today. Second, talk a little bit more about the Great Futures 2025 plan that's pivotal for our movement, but I also believe pivotal to the future of America. And finally, I want to talk about the challenge of change, as you heard from Myron, and how together, as one mission, one vision, one movement, we can do incredible things that lead to great futures for club members and youth across America. So to me, it's easy to see how this conference got its theme. Our mission is clear: to enable all young people, especially those who need us most, to reach their full potential as productive, caring, responsible citizens. Our vision is also crystal clear. It's to provide a world-class club experience that assures success is within the reach of every young person who enters our doors, with all members on track to graduate from high school with a plan for the future, demonstrating good character and citizenship, and living a healthy lifestyle. This is so much more than a science. These are the things that we remind young people about every day. It's about what we do. It's about what Billy Thomas did for Denzel, what I did for Tommy Walls, and what every staff person around the country does for youth members at their club. And through the Great Futures 2025, we have a purpose statement on how we'll reach that mission and vision. First, it's to inspire and empower club youth to achieve success. This is about our vision. And second, to champion opportunities for all young people in America. This is focused on our mission, enabling all young people. I believe in America and the American way of life, in the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. Like all of you, I believe in this nation. I'm bullish about America and the importance of the virtues that have guided us from the time of our nation's founding. Some of you may have recognized part of that statement that I just made. It's from our Boys and Girls Club Code. It's a reflection of our movement's strong historical belief in the patriotic values and virtues of our forefathers. Things like industriousness, progress, honesty, self-reliance, personal responsibility, liberty, freedom, and most importantly, opportunity. In fact, around the world, people refer to America as the land of opportunity and still hold strongly the belief that no matter where you begin life, you can achieve success. But today, there's just too many obstacles and outside factors that can determine someone's future, pointing to the deterioration of equality in America. Equality. Think about that word. It's the bedrock of our society and a core belief that we hold on to as a symbol of what this country stands for at its best. These are the beliefs that unite us and inspire us, the beliefs that enable America to thrive and lead the world. I also believe that all men and women are created equal, a concept embedded in our Declaration of Independence and Constitution. But I'm not sure that we can honestly say that's true in today's society. Because for the first time in our history, part of this generation stands not to do as well as their parents have done, and it relates to education, health, and employment. They won't be as educated as their parents. They won't earn as much as their parents, and they won't live as long. And I say parts of this generation because there are people throughout the country who don't even realize that this is a problem. Many people often don't see the issue or the impact of poverty unless they're living it. If you're born with resources and advantages, you're more likely to succeed than those who live in need. And if you live in a certain zip codes in this country, you often have no expectation of success. Many say that we're becoming a nation of haves and have-nots. The truth of the matter is we're already there. Our country has shifted perspective to a more insular and personal one. We used to talk about our kids, meaning all kids in our neighborhoods, and our country's kids. And now, it just means my kids. We no longer think as a collective to the degree that we once did as a nation. And this forces an even greater divide, which many times is rooted in income and wealth. But I firmly believe there's a silver lining inside of these clouds, and that's how clubs act as the great equalizer in this country, providing opportunities for youth who wouldn't otherwise have them. And make no mistake about it, our movement is addressing some of the biggest issues facing this country today. The research is clear. Poverty is the single greatest threat to a child's well-being. So, what does poor mean? Being poor is identified of a family of four earning less than $25,000 a year. Ask yourself, what would it be like to raise a family of four on $25,000? How would you choose between paying rent or buying food? Where do you live? What does your community look like? How confident are you that your kids will make it home safely every day? How do you ensure that your children have somewhere to go after school while you juggle multiple jobs? And what does your child's school look like? Imagine if you were homeless. How hard would it be to ascend from that place to where you are today? Yet, this is the reality for a staggering number of people in America. Today, 45 million people in this country, including 1 out of every 5 kids, lives in poverty in the United States of America. This means that more people in our country live in poverty than the populations of the 40 largest U.S. cities combined, New York City to Colorado Springs. And like most social issues, poverty doesn't impact all people the same. Child poverty rates are highest among Black, Latino, and Native American children. But families today need an average of twice the poverty level just to cover the basic expenses. So if you double that figure, it goes to $50,000. And we then get what's officially called low income. And based on census data, half the U.S. population, 50% of people here live in poverty or low income. Think about this. If this group of Americans that are either poor or low income formed their own country, it would be the 9th most populous nation in the world, just ahead of Russia, Japan, and Mexico. That's astounding. Within the borders of our great country, we could house the 9th largest group of people in the world, and every one of them would be poor or low income. Think about this. What kind of message is that sending to our nation's children? That unless you're born with the ability to afford opportunities, you're going to be left behind. Because today, 80% of kids are graduating from high school on time, which means 20% of the next generation won't have the minimal capabilities or skills to contribute to society at a meaningful level. The 20% that do not graduate are disproportionately poor and non-white. But poverty and inequality aren't the only challenges facing our youth. Children cannot learn and they can't grow unless they feel safe physically and emotionally. From the founding of the very first Boys Club, the safety and protection of our children has been one of our core beliefs, and it's remained the cornerstone of this movement for 157 years. Throughout history, our movement has always been at the forefront of advocating for laws and policies that help protect America's children. But we need to do more. because it's our responsibility to do more. So later today, the National Area Council Committee will meet and review proposals to elevate our safety requirements. They're going to ask for a special meeting later this fall and a vote by year's end. These are essential enhancements, all related to safety. That every Boys and Girls Club organization needs to have policies in place around bathroom use, transportation, and supervision. That every organization should have a safety assessment and a board-led safety committee. And any organization that wants to hire someone with previous experience at another Boys and Girls Club should have a reference on hand from that organization. Clubs will have even more resources to ensure the safety of members, including an expanded child and club safety team in the field to provide support, resources, and expertise for all local clubs. The bottom line is this. The bottom line is this, that ensuring the safety and protection of nearly 450,000 kids and teens who make the decision to come to a club every day is absolutely essential to our success. It's our number one priority. Our clubs and our nation must be safe places for kids to grow up. And as we know, our mission is to serve all young people, especially those who need us most. Today, nearly 2 million teens in this country, and as many as 30% of club teens surveyed identified as LGBTQ. And we're committed to ensuring that all children, no matter how they identify, have a safe and unbiased experience at their Boys and Girls Club. It's been clear through staff research and conversations with youth that we need to do some things, and so we've developed a toolkit to assist clubs in ensuring that they are safe places. This toolkit will be mailed to every one of your organizations and made available also on bgca.net. And we're also developing an enhanced inclusion statement that represents Boys and Girls Clubs of America's commitment to serving all young people regardless of their race, gender, sexual orientation, ability, social economic status, or religion. Poverty, inequality, juvenile crime, the assault on our core values, violence, drug and alcohol abuse, these are all the issues that we face and that our members face. Growing up, as you all know, has never been more challenging for all of America's youth. And America can't afford to waste the lives of 20% of its young people. We need to address this issue, and we need to do it now. So ask yourself, what can we do to break the cycle of poverty? What's it going to take to keep the kids that come to all of our clubs from turning into one of these horrific statistics? And what can we do to change this dynamic, to provide the possibility of a new journey to those who need us most? What could be the catalyst for change in this new era? There's no other youth development organization in my mind of our size, scope, scale, or model left standing in America today. We are one of the largest remaining national movements that is focused on fighting poverty in America. And when kids and teens receive a high-quality club experience, they're more likely to volunteer, be on track to graduate, and get more A's and B's in school. And they're also less likely to get into a fight. However, the line of sight to success has almost evaporated. And for so many people, it seems to be invisible or already lost. Too many young people don't see or have a clear path to their dream. And they don't get the many chances to change their trajectory. And that's where the Great Futures 2025 strategic plan comes in. This plan matters, not just for the future of our country, but for the future of our movement. It's focused on providing transformational, life-changing experiences for kids, increasing our impact, not just on those kids and clubs, but across the country. And clubs are poised to serve the young people that need us most. Since the first club opened its doors in 1860 in Hartford, Connecticut, Boys and Girls Clubs have been part of the fabric of America. And through the Great Futures 2025 plan, we'll do even more to cultivate globally competitive graduates and 21st century leaders. And when successful, our impact is exponentially greater and serves as a force multiplier in every community and neighborhood across this nation. Because when we get it right, the possibilities for our movement are endless. And when we reach our goals during this plan, here's what we'll see. 75% of young people who come to clubs will report having a high-quality experience. 7 or 8 million young people a year will participate in club activities, with as many as 1 million coming through our doors every day. But we need to get our capabilities aligned first, and then growth will be a natural outcome of our progress. Our staff will be better connected to youth in all facilities, and also digitally, on phones, tablets, computers, or whatever technology exists in 2025. Members will start coming to clubs at 6 years old, and they'll have an opportunity and expectation of success from the very start. They'll stay connected and continue attending their club through their teen years. And they'll also stay engaged when they graduate from high school. And following the groundwork being set by our alumni strategy, they'll continue to be advocates and ambassadors, understanding that they're a club kid forever. Our brand will be recognized by what we stand for, which is providing every young child the opportunity to reach their full potential. And out of this, the impact of our collective efforts, the impact on our nation will be even greater. The opportunity to achieve the American dream can once again be achieved by all people, every kid, regardless of zip code, regardless of where he or she was born. They will have a path to success because of the conversations they have and the examples that are set for them at clubs across this country. I envision a country having the highest graduation rates in the world as members of clubs get mentoring for the next generation to create our next engineers, scientists, attorneys, doctors, teachers, and CEOs. And leading up to the 2024 presidential elections, the state of youth in America is the focus of government officials, stakeholders, and social warriors, all of whom recognize the impact that Boys and Girls Clubs have had on this progress. And the reason for all these successes is really clear in my mind. It'll be you. It'll be us, your national organization, your volunteers, and the entire enterprise concentrating on one mission, one vision, and one movement. You work tirelessly to help the young people in your communities have a great future. Having a great club experience means that members have the expectation of success and believe that they can achieve it. This doesn't just happen. We make it happen. It takes a lot to prove that every kid has what it takes, particularly to a 7-year-old who throughout their life has been told they have no chance at success. Yet it's our responsibility to do that for those that follow us on this journey, using a framework to modernize our systems and enhance our relevance in today's world. The Great Futures 2025 plan is all about two things in my mind: creating the strongest possible local organizations and creating the best possible experience for youth, especially those who need us most. And underneath both of those things are you, the people and the leaders and the volunteers that make this all possible. Today, the number of kids and teens reporting a high-quality club experience at their clubs ranges from 5% to 95%. To me, each club does what is best for their community, so there's always going to be some variability from site to site. But we can't have this kind of disparity. We're better than this. And the opportunity to have that high-quality club experience needs to be available across the board, regardless of where clubs are located. What has always mattered most to me and most in our movement is the experience youth have at a club. It's the core of what we've built our movement on. Every young person who enters our doors should be armed with the tools and knowledge to not only make a difference in their own lives, but to make a difference in our great nation. Great Futures 2025 takes the best parts of our past and sets a direction that allows us to innovate and create great futures in new ways. And it'll reintroduce the possibility of the American dream to the young people that enter our doors. And at its core, Great Futures 2025 sets out to improve the experience young people have at a club. But let's be really very clear from the start. Measuring their club experience is not a competition. It's a way for every organization, every club site, to see where they have opportunities to increase the impact on kids and teens. This is about continuous improvement and the experience that members tell you they have, which is the baseline at a club site. You're all working to advance and evolve for the betterment of kids, not to compete with your neighbor. Our stated goal is to double the collective percentage of club members reporting a high-quality club experience to 75% in 2025. That's our guiding light. Now, we all recognize this is a big goal and can make us uncomfortable. It's aspirational, and it's a challenge. But if we're truly committed to providing every American an opportunity to reach their full potential, then we have to think big. This is just one target, and certainly there are others to measure the success, growth, and development of youth. Great Futures 2025 is the next part of our journey to provide transformational, life-changing experiences for kids and teens, and the club experience is our North Star. The plan was created by the Planning Commission. It's a group of members, local volunteers on local boards from the National Area Council Committee, and professionals from local organizations that make up the President's Advisory Committee. This group took a lot of feedback over the last 2 years, a lot of input from local clubs, and they created the plan that meets clubs where they are. And it also provides a path to the priorities and goals that have been set forth. So I'd like to pause for a minute and recognize the hard work of this Planning Commission. So if they could please stand up and let's recognize all the work that they've done over the past couple of years. Please stand up. This is the group that designed the blueprint for our entire movement with 4 main priorities that you've all seen. First, about strengthening our organizations. I start with this because continuing to build a world-class board with the best possible local leadership at all levels is the key to organizational success. This includes cultivating world-class leadership at the board and professional level through learning and development opportunities and increasing the skills of all levels of staff. Our people, you make the difference in the lives of kids, regardless of the role that staff members have. Learning opportunities that are targeted for their skills, the ones that they need to succeed, will be in place for unit directors, program directors, resource development staff, operations, finance, up to and including CEOs and board members. The goal is to enable and develop the leadership capabilities to provide a high-quality club experience. Throughout the movement, there'll be a more concerted focus on talent management, acquisition, retention, development, and succession planning, with technology behind it to support the needs and your needs. We know that to reach this next generation of mentors, we're going to have to provide new tools in new ways, from utilizing technologies and ways to enhance our training processes all the way to better developing ways to reach kids outside of our clubs. One of these new tools is the beta launch of our Youth Development Toolkit. Starting today, you can download that on Google Play or the Apple Store, and you'll see easy-to-access tips and tools that enable frontline staff to positively impact the club experience, from icebreakers to games that they can use in their everyday interactions with members. Additionally, the relaunch of Spillett University will reinvigorate the concentration on our profession. All part-time and full-time staff should have the tools and opportunities to grow and develop in the profession that we all love. By defining what success looks like for each role in the movement, we can create a clear career path for everyone. So this is my first ask of all of you today. Please, take advantage of these tools and resources, both which are available right now. Second priority is about increasing program quality. Clubs can only be as strong as relevant as the programs that we provide. It's important to have collective accountability to each other and the Boys and Girls Club brand, and most importantly, club members and their communities. This means developing quality standards based on the principles of youth development, child safety, and our club research and data. It also means implementing a program quality assessment process, a continuous improvement process, and providing state-of-the-art training for staff members. Starting later this year, all unit directors will receive training on the club experience through in-person learning and technology-based job aids and tools. Overwhelmingly, research shows that great leadership creates great workplaces, which will create a great club experience for youth. This, combined with a great board, equals a great organization. Throughout the focus groups that we've had over the past couple years, clubs have repeatedly requested more training. So this is my second ask. It's that you take advantage of this and ensure that you send your unit directors to these cost-effective trainings. What's cost-effective? Right now, it's going to be $50 to attend, and all you got to do is get them there. The rest will be taken care of. We also need to provide programming that's relevant to the lives of members. Achieving the American dream has changed, and we need to prepare teens to be the next generation of leaders. My Future is a perfect example of how we'll take the core of what we've done to modernize it for youth today. We'll remain relevant through staff and members with this new digital portfolio that connects club members to college scholarships and allows them to explore topics that they want to learn about. The new Future is now available for testing, and you can be among the first to sign up for it prior to its official launch this September. Our focus on innovation extends beyond just technology, though. We'll also continue the groundbreaking work that we've done as part of our teen strategy this year with the Year of the Teen Voice. Our newly published Teen White Paper will help ensure that youth development professionals are able to fully prepare the centennial generation for the diverse global and connected world that they will one day lead. Leads us up to the third priority. This is about advocating for youth development. We're seeing this occur right now as we face funding challenges inside the federal budget. As we amplify our movement's voice, we'll be speaking up for the needs of our nation's youth. Just last month, Boys and Girls Clubs of America's Board of Governors and Trustees sent a letter to the President and to leaders of Congress setting out a vision for youth in the country and clubs' roles in helping to achieve that vision. We're building on these partnerships with elected officials to ensure that America's youth are career and college ready, that they demonstrate good character in their actions, and bolster the safety of our nation's communities. Demonstrating how Boys and Girls Clubs are the solution to the key issues they're trying to solve across the country, and highlighting the impact of this work on our nation's youth and future will help us be seen as the leading voice for youth development in America. Our mission and our movement transcend partisanship, and Boys and Girls Clubs are the one area that provide common ground for a polarized political environment. And just as we progress on our journey through these first three priorities, the natural outcome will be growth, and that's the fourth priority of the plan, to reach more youth. We'll not only grow just to get better or to grow at any cost, but in order to make a difference on our country. And to make this difference, we need to reach more youth more often. The beauty of the Great Futures 2025 is that it meets organizations where they are. Some organizations are primed for growth now, while others will be more focused on improving program quality and strengthening their organization. Problems that our country face and our society face are just simply too big not to solve, and that's why Great Futures 2025 matters. You heard Myron Gray talk earlier today about how change is moving at an increasing pace. We're changing faster, in bigger ways, more often. And that focus on change is going to be critical if our movement wants each and every young person to have a fair shot at the American dream. To me, change is a really tricky thing. It's easily recognizable, but difficult to enact. It can be really hard to remedy our faith in the great work that we've done for generations with the fact that we need to do some things differently or better. But change doesn't challenge tradition. It strengthens it. And overcoming the challenges facing our country will require leadership from those that aren't afraid to step up, that aren't afraid to set high expectations, that they're not afraid to tackle big problems. And we're off to a great start. We've got a lot in our favor. But we aren't going to be successful by doing the same things tomorrow that we've done yesterday. Sure, they've served us well and they've gotten us to where we are, but we need to evolve and do more. Every morning, every day, I look in the mirror and I ask myself, what do I need to do to change, to be a better leader? What do I need to do to make this change? And I recognize that your national organization can be better too. So we're asking you. We've asked you to do peer assessments. And I've asked our Board of Governors yesterday to expect an analysis on how Boys and Girls Clubs of America can do better, provide more resources to you for the things that you need to do in your communities. So we're going to ask for your input and your feedback as part of your national organization's quality assessment. And I want to hear what you have to think. What can we do better? What can we do better to support your needs? Just like your organizations, your national organization is also developing an annual operating plan that aligns to the Great Futures 2025 plan. Great Futures 2025 gives all of us the roadmap for the next evolution in leading youth development. It's also about us becoming the youth development organization as a national priority in this country. Boys and Girls Clubs of America is proud to be on this journey. It's the journey that we're all on as one movement. I often reminisce on where my journey began, working with and then running the Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater Milwaukee. I think about the complexities and the dimensions that took time and our team's time and energy. I think about the challenges that youth faced in my community and the tools that I wished were in place to assist our staff. Today, you know what's best for your community, and you know what you need to do at your club. And you know best what kids in your communities need from their time with you. Great Futures 2025 addresses many of these things: training, program quality, resource development, and support to focus on how we can best impact all of our communities. The true measure of any society can be found in how it treats its children. And that's what drives me every day, our collective and relentless pursuit to meet the needs of vulnerable kids in our communities. My wife well knows I can't wait to get to work every day because of a deep passion to make a difference, and it's the same passion and commitment that we all share. It's not only our job, but our responsibility to restore the prospect of success to this nation's young people. With that responsibility, we bring promise and hope to native lands and military installations around the world, to public schools and public housing, to the biggest cities in this country, and to the smallest communities across rural America. No one said it would be an easy trip without potholes or detours, because every journey has crossroads, the point at which you're forced to make a decision and forge a path that you're on that may be unfamiliar to you. Every journey has bumps and setbacks, moments where you need to reevaluate why you began in the first place. But every journey also has a promise of success and victory at the end of it. And if we're going to end generational poverty and restore the American dream, this is the journey that America's kids need us to take together. It's going to take courage. It's going to take leadership. It's going to take commitment. It'll take vision, passion, and perseverance. It'll require us to innovate and evolve. It'll take all of us focusing on a single mission that has driven us for more than a century. It'll take all of us using our vision to provide hope and opportunity for young people. It'll take all of us acting as one movement, a strong movement of 350,000 volunteers and professionals, giving the best of what we have every day for those that have less. Our journey to a great future in 2025 doesn't start today. It started 157 years ago, and this is where it's taken us. To me, we cannot falter. We cannot waver. We cannot fail our kids. It's not only a tremendous honor and responsibility for me to serve in this role, but to serve our movement, our mission, and all of you on this journey. So thank you, God bless you, and have a great conference.